Welcome to the Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. Today, my guest is Margaux Khoury. Margaux has started a wide range of companies and eco brands. Her experience is vast, from starting and selling a juice bar to creating a successful real estate development company to founding a global 100% plastic-free vegan company from her kitchen. Margaux is an advisor for startups, especially those wanting to be plant-based and vegan for the environment, human health, and animal welfare. She is certified in plant-based nutrition with a focus on longevity. Margaux has worked with leaders on helping farms switch from farming animals to farming plants. Stick around. I want to introduce her to you. Hi, Margaux. How are you?
I'm doing well, Nancy. How are you?
I'm doing good, and I am excited to talk to you about your projects and what you're doing because it is awesome. But first, I want to ask you about your journey into veganism.
That's so great. I love to start there. So basically, so sorry about that. I had a little distraction. It's the beauty of working from home. So my vegan journey just started 12 years ago, actually. I watched an unbelievable film called Earthlings, and my friend Sean directed, created and everything. And that changed my life. I'm not sure how someone can watch that movie and not be completely changed from the heart out. And so the very next day, I made so many changes. A couple years later, I remember being in Costa Rica or something, and dairy crept back into my life. I was not reading labels as well, and I got a little bit lazy. And then I obviously watched more. I think it's really important to watch what happens to the animals, because going vegan for ethical reasons is really what's made me stick to it, because there's a victim involved. And it's not just about me and my health, which that's a very happy bonus that my health is improved, and that's amazing. Environmentally as well is better, but for ethical reasons is why I went vegan. And then I'm happy that I found it before I had children, because now I'm raising 3 vegan children. 2 of them have been vegan since birth. And now they're all completely 100% vegan, and it's their choice. They have full autonomy over their choices, and I'm just happy they know it's about the animals.
Awesome. That's what I also, why I also went vegan, was for the animals. I didn't want to, the cruelty and the torture that they endure is just, it's unfathomable.
It's it's almost too much to bear sometimes, as you know, from being sort of an activist or someone who deeply cares about any issue. Honestly, we're human beings. What really saddened me is I was shocked at what humans are actually capable of doing for money.
And that's just it, that they continue this because it's profit for them. They are, impregnating these poor individuals and just using and abusing them over and over and over again for the mighty dollar.
Exactly. And I want to add that I've been an entrepreneur for 15 plus years. I've opened companies and sold companies, closed some companies, and I know the power of wanting to make a profit. But an entrepreneur, I just wanted to add this because it's really important to remember that, yes, it's an individual choice. The consumers have that choice in a store, but I really feel the responsibility lies on the company owners, on the people, the corporations, of course, the government, where I have very little faith anymore. But change happens slowly at that level. But it's up to the for-profit companies to say no to any animal products, any animal testing, which is very difficult, especially in the pharmaceutical world. But it's really up to us to provide products to the consumers that are cruelty-free and vegan.
And not only that, but healthier for us, because right now they're just poisoning us slowly. With the chemicals you put on your skin or with the food you consume, it's all, poison, and they're selling it as beauty products, but there's nothing beautiful about cruelty.
Nothing at all. And I just heard a really terrible fact. I talked to well, Dr. Zahar, Dr. Nakhle actually, who is president of CCS, and he works on helping educate people on the lab cruelty happening right now. And in the pharmaceutical world, apparently 90% of drugs, I can't even remember the figure. I'm not even going to quote it, but all drugs have to be, any time a drug or a product, medical device gets out into the market, it has to be tested on 2 animals, one small and one large. And the companies that are making billions out of this, they have to comply with the guidelines by the FDA. And so what he's working on, and it's incredible, is changing the guidelines, because, drug companies, it costs $1 billion to $6 billion or something to release these drugs. And really it's about changing the guidelines they have to abide by. So, yes, it's a cruel world. There's issues all over the place, but someone like you, Nancy, I mean, even doing this podcast or doing your part by posting and being very vocal, I think it all matters. And how can we stay silent?
Exactly. And what you were saying about the testing on animals, I think it was like 90% or a little bit higher of that testing is of no use.
That's right. It's ineffective.
So they're just torturing animals for no reason, and they continue to do that because they get money. Again, it's back to the money.
Yeah. So we're trials for no reason. What a waste. Also, the money that's poured into that waste, the 90% of it is ineffective. The money can be used for actually things that are effective and that are increasing human lifespan and health and all this. But yeah, it's all around really a sad story.
Exactly. And I know that you were working to help some farms switch from animal farming to plant farming. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, I know when we spoke, it was a while ago. I have dear friends in that world, the Barrett family farm. Jennifer Barrett's a dear friend, and Rodney. We've grown to know them really well over the last year. And yes, I did help them connect to someone who's now helping them transition to mushrooms. Like this is an incredible story for those of you who have never heard it, because they had cows on their farm and they had chickens, tens of thousands of chickens that they had to give back to Tyson. And their cows were able to live in peace on their farm. And it's really beautiful because when the cows had their babies for the last time, the babies were able to stay with the mothers instead of, the milk being sold for dairy. And so now finally, after the 3 years or so, they're transitioning to a fully functional and profitable mushroom farm. So we're really excited about them. So I just, connected the dots there, and I just love them so much. And other farms too. I love working in that industry. That's really making.
Hold on, you froze on me.
It keeps muting me for some reason today, the Zoom.
Okay, here we go. So going back to that, about them having now the cows and they're being able to live with their babies, and it has to feel good that you were part of that.
It feels amazing because honestly, even I know when Jennifer posts about this, it's like seeing the babies being able to stay with their mothers really shows the victims of the dairy industry, because people don't know when they drink a cup of milk or have some cheese that the babies aren't able to stay with the mothers, which is a right for every single mother to be able to have their babies. So they were able to live out to the rest of their days on the farm. And I want this is a beautiful story for other farms wanting to get out of the industry, because let's face it, dairy is suffering. And any farmer that I speak to, actually any farmer I've ever talked to, and I mentioned this, that it can be, cleaner, you save water, better for the environment. You don't have to separate the calves, and farmers don't necessarily want to do this job, right? Or this work. They just pretend to. And honestly, they say that it's amazing because it's idyllic, the old family farm, feeding America, etc. A very noble thing to do. But in reality, if we give them a way out and a chance to still be profitable, growing something else, they will take it. I'm very convinced of that now. But it takes a lot.
Yeah, and I think the government this is what they should be pushing. This is where the money should be going to helping them transition out of the animal cruelty business into something that actually produces health for individuals.
Yes, and there are amazing organizations working on that in the United States, and Alliance, and also Nation
Trans-
Rising.
yeah. One of those are Transformation, I believe, by the Rowdy Girl Sanctuary. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Rowdy Ranchers Advocacy Program, and Transformation is Mercy for Animals, and Miyoko Shinner is doing some work. Jean Bauer, there's a lot of people working in this area, and I'm so thrilled. Like, it's so exciting, everybody doing this work. Ultimately, the goals, we all want the same. We all want change to happen. So anyone doing this work is really just such a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, and every bit and anything that anyone does to forward this movement is totally appreciated and valuable.
Yes, love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I wanted to mention some students I'm working with, Nancy, here at there's a company called Plant Futures Initiative. It's an organization started by Samantha Derrick from Berkeley, and they have a symposium with amazing speakers every single year. They have opened up Plant Futures Initiative chapters in all sorts of universities. I think we're up to 25 universities now. I'm now on the board of advisory for this company. And I'm working closely with the Harvard chapter. The students are blowing my mind. They're amazing. This is their time. This is their summer. They're not even in school, and they're working tirelessly on helping make change for the plant-based world. So I'm not sure if you've heard of the White House's conference coming up in September.
No.
It's a conference on hunger, nutrition, and health. And for the first time in 50 years, they've opened this type of thing up, this conference and we're taking advantage of it and creating a video and a beautiful project and initiative to help create awareness and why plants are the answer, and why schools and government and all events need to switch to a vegan menu.
Very good. And you have an event coming up. Let's talk about that.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes, it's called Rising Mothers, and I'm a mother of 3 children. And my children, when I first went vegan and I was pregnant with my first child, I got a lot of backlash on why I'm not feeding them animal products, or why I'm not consuming animal products, and how I'm getting my nourishment. And so I've decided that it's time for mothers like us to rise up and say, actually, we are doing the best thing for our children by allowing them to be born into compassion, number one, and not harm another sentient being, because no child will choose to eat an animal. They're forced to eat the meat and eat the dairy and all that. And number two, well, for ethical reasons, but as well, it has been proven many times over by many organizations, many doctors, lots of literature, lots of research showing that not only is a vegan diet sufficient, it's optimal for the development of young children and mothers. And during pregnancy, I had 3 vegan pregnancies. And I always tell people, thank goodness I was so stubborn and stuck to my gun, because everyone from my doctors to my midwife to my people in my life, just who they care about us, they were giving me the wrong information. So mothers are bombarded with conflicting information. And so Rising Mothers is about longevity. It's about aging in a healthy way. And consuming plant forward.
I love that you're addressing women, that you're talking to mothers, because that's exactly what we need to do, is start giving our kids back their compassion and not taking it away from them, and to show them how to be more kind, because that's what we need in the world. With all the violence every day I see in the news, it's crazy. I think that raising vegan, compassionate, kind individuals is one of the keys to having a more peaceful world.
100%. You said it perfectly, actually. It is one of the keys. And if all mothers, especially, I say mothers, fathers as well, parents in general, mothers, fathers, parents, whatever, we have the power to change the next generation. And it's very powerful. We are raising humanity, the future of humanity. And I know how difficult it is for mothers, and I have a huge amount of empathy and compassion for people going through this, because it's not an easy road. It's the road less traveled. We're a minority for sure. But when we surround ourselves with mothers like us who give us strength and power, my friend Amy Jean Davis, LA Animal Save, she's, one of my biggest allies, raising her child, Phoenix, this way. Joanne Young is also my amazing dear friend, and people in my life. Joanne Farb, who her daughter has the company Raise Vegan. So there's a lot happening in this arena. Genesis Butler is an amazing activist who turned vegan when she was very, very young. She wasn't vegan since birth, but that family is amazing. Her mother's now vegan. They realized it from an early age. And I love talking to her as well. Really, we need children to hear this. My children, when they see someone handing them food or food at an event, honestly, they could be really, really hungry. But if they ask if there's an animal in it, my son will actually use the words, "Is there an animal in this?" It's all about words. Words have so much power. Instead of meat, he says, or is there dairy or animal products? And if there is, I don't even say anything, and they will not touch it because they think it's absolutely horrid and disgusting. And even a 5-year-old, that's people tend to shy away from sharing these things with young children, thinking they're going to be tormented or something, or it's not age appropriate. They can handle so much more than we give them credit for.
Yeah, and it is like they say, see, from the mouth of a babe, it is horrible and disgusting to eat the flesh of a poor individual who wanted to live.
Yeah.
So they're absolutely right.
Yes.
Can you just tell me about when your event is coming on? Is it available virtually before we go?
Thank you so much. It's Rising, www.rising/mothers, not slash, sorry, line, whatever that's called. My brain is barely functioning today, mothers.com. But I will send you the link, Nancy, and it will be launched in August, but people can register. And we have just some amazing contributors talking really about longevity and what makes a human body function optimally and live healthy as long as possible. We talk about movement, purpose, mindset, nutrition, and of course, community, because the community of people around us is so vital. So I'm really excited, and I'll send you the link for sure so you can link that. And I do feel it has the power to change the world of mothers.
I believe you too. And I will have those links available when we produce this show. And I hope that people will go ahead and join you at this event, because it sounds wonderful.
I appreciate you so much, Nancy. Thank you.
Thank you for being here, Margaux. Until next time.
Until next time.
Thank you for joining us on another Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. Remember, check out our website, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have a pulse, you have a purpose. Live vegan.